Welcome to the Tellabs Optical LAN Profile Operations video, the PAE profile. The purpose of this video is to introduce the Port Authentication Entity, or PAE profile, on the UniPort and define the parameters that are available in the profile. The topics covered in this video will be a definition of the PAE profile, the process for provisioning and editing the profile, and a description of the parameters that can be set in the profile. A total of 6 profiles can be used in the Tellabs Optical LAN user-to-network interfaces. Each profile deals with a particular set of port behaviors assigned to the port. The PAE profile assigns attributes associated with the 802.1x port authentication for the UniPort. Embedded in this profile is a radius profile that defines the default or specific radius domain for authenticating the port. Use the PAE tab in the Profile tool to create, edit, or delete PAE profiles and monitor the status of the profile edit or deletion. As with all profiles relating to UniPort interfaces, there is a default profile here. This profile can be edited but not deleted. To create a new profile, select the Create a New Profile icon. When PAE is enabled, the port will require authentication on the port before the user is allowed service on the network. The Authentication Controlled Port Control setting allows administrative control over the port's authorization status. Auto enables 802.1x on the port, and the port starts unauthorized. The port must authorize via client authentication. Admin Control Directions determines denied traffic on the port when a port is unauthorized. Settings are receive only, and both transmit and receive. The maximum number of authorized supplicants can be set as well as a PAE excessive supplicant violation alarm. When max supplicants is exceeded, port authentication is disabled on the port. PAE Auto Start forces re-authentication when the port fails and recovers. PAE Auto Authenticate cancels authentication as soon as the port goes down. Both of these should be enabled in an enterprise environment. Enabling re-authentication supports regular re-authentication on the port. Re-authentication period is set in seconds. Default is 3600 or 1 hour. Quiet period is a timer used by the authenticator PAE state machine to define periods of time in which it does not acquire a supplicant. The transmit period is a timer used by the authentication PAE state machine to determine when the ePOL PDU is to be transmitted. The backend authentication PAE state machine uses the supplicant timeout to determine timeout conditions between the authenticator and the supplicant. Server timeout is used in exchanges between the authenticator and the authentication server, typically Radius. Maximum request is the number of times that the state machine transmits an EAP request to the supplicant before it times out on the authentication. Radius profiles that have a MAC OUI filter will be listed as filtered radius profiles. The filter allows the authentication of specific vendor equipment to a different domain. One or more of these profiles can be assigned to the port. If no MAC OUIs match or no filter profiles are listed, then the port will use the default radius profile to authenticate the port. The default radius is configured independently on each NE in the network. To view the configuration for the default radius, right-click on the NE in the tree view of the Panorama client. Select Protocol, Port Authentication. This concludes this video. In it, we have discussed a definition of the PAE profile, the process for provisioning and editing the profile, and a description of the parameters that can be set in the profile.